closer. Come closer.
It helps me remember what I'm going to say. So my name is Charissa. Oh, wow. And I came to New Zealand last year, last year. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey in New Zealand. I'm a second year student in Whitechapel. Actually, before that, sorry, it's broken. Before last year, I didn't come to New Zealand for university. I came to New Zealand for Bible school. So I came for a 6-month course of Bible school. So like hardcore Bible studies every day of your life, 6 months. But surprisingly, it was much better than what I expected. Not as nerdy as it sounds, and it's actually a lot of fun. So in Cape and Ray, which is my Bible school, I went there to find God outside of, away from home. I wanted to find if God was real, and because as a second generation of Christians, we get a lot of information fed to us, and so much so that we never go out and find the truth ourselves. And so that was my truth journey. So I decided to come here to the land of sheep to find truth. So anyway, this place pushed me a lot out of my comfort zone. I was rooming with international students, like 4 of us. I was from Malaysia, and then some Americans, Papua New Guinea, and then Canadian. I was also rooming with Germans, and just a whole bunch of international people, and with a lot of very, very clashy personalities. So, for example, and if you live with someone for 6 months, you get to know a lot about them, both in a good sense and a bad sense as well. Some of the stories that I've heard from my roommate are, my roommate's mom was murdered in Papua New Guinea, and my friend's cousin just committed suicide before he came, and my other friend's father was dying of an illness when he was in this Bible school. So there are a lot of terrible things going on, and I guess when you live with people in a close community, you really see all of this, and you really get personal and understand a lot more about people beyond the hi, bye, goodbye, farewell kind of relationships, but way more than that. So anyway, I decided to stay on to New Zealand, and so I came to Whitechapel University, and I spent my first year in Hall of Residence. So I don't know how many of you live in a hall, but for me it was a culture shock. It was like, whoa, TV students. I'm not only 2 international students, and I was like, no one to talk to about my Malaysian food and my Malaysian mamak stores, and so there's no one really to relate to, and I was in a culture shock, out of my comfort zone. But something about the hall, at first, I thought it would be cool to use the hall as a mission field, but then gradually I lost it, lost being intentional about it. But so one of the things that I learned about hall ministry is that you really have to be intentional about it. There are many people that you will meet in a hall that also, in Cape and Ray, have stories to tell. And if you're willing to listen, you will learn a lot about these people. They are amazing people, but some of them have really hard backgrounds and hard stories. And trust me, if you listen to them, you will learn a lot about them, about life, than you will ever expect to know. And sometimes it gets a bit overwhelming because for me, always being welcoming to people coming at my door, knocking at my door, asking to talk to me, that can be a bit overwhelming because I'm too many people I don't want to see. And especially if you get a girl knocking at your door at 2 a.m. Can I play Fruit Ninja with you? Or like, there's this other girl who locked herself out of her room at 4 a.m. and she's like knocking at my door. Can I sleep with you? It's 4 a.m. and I can't call the RA to come and unlock my door, so she ended up squashing with me in my single bed, which wasn't very comfortable. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard, but at the same time, it's really important that you accept that and you kind of look beyond the discomfort of the moment, but really look at the lives of people and what you might be going through at that point in time, regardless of what you might be going through. And sometimes it's a lot worse than you think it is. And I think the biggest problem sometimes we have is taking the time to listen to their stories. Yeah, so for what I did in my hall is me and my friends started a Bible study, kind of like a Bible prayer together group-ish thing every Monday night, where we would just meet in someone's room and we would just pray for each other. Every week someone would lead a devotion and it would be a different person, and we would just pray for each other and support each other. And it was not by our own strength, but God really provided people to come into that little, squashed into that little tiny room every Monday night and just pray for each other. And it was really, really cool. Not something I expected at all when I first came into the hall. But if you really trust God and if you're willing to let Him use you, then you will be surprised, actually. And also another thing I learned about being in the hall is that you really have to be intentional about things, and you have to be involved in listening to the thing, and also being authentic. Like, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect, and that was something that I had to really grasp and really understand. And being real about that, I think, was one thing that I had to learn, how to be real to the people, because you can't hide under this like fake mask of perfection if you're living with people. Like, you just can't do that, and they respect you if you're being real with them. Show them that I'm not perfect, but yeah, something like that. Yeah. So anyway, after I moved to a flat beginning of this year, and okay, so I've got flatmate, Shani somewhere, I don't know where, but 5 of us live together in the flat, and we're all part of the leadership team in Hamilton Christian Fellowship, and it's been such a cool 1 month for me. Not too long, but it's already been so amazing, and we've learned so much together. There are a lot of different personalities. I don't know if you met these guys, or Shanice, or me, yeah, or Sam's sister back in Hamilton. But we're all very, very, very different people. So different, radically different. We fight about things all the time. Leftover food, dirty laundry, dirty dishes, everything. So, for those of you who have lived in a flat, maybe you might know what I'm talking about. But also, regardless of all those little things, we also have a lot of great, great, great times together. And just being able to live together as this leadership team has been such a great experience. And I think that's part of the girl here, is that you really learn about each other. And one thing about living in a community, is that you really learn to grow and learn to love. I think that love is a very, I think that loving is a learning process. You don't love people at, like, first instance. You love people, you learn to love people, and you love people more and more each day by loving them regardless of what they do, what they look like, what they act like. But just regardless of that, you love them anyway, and I think that's true love and true grace as well. Living with people in a small community has really taught me a lot about grace, so much about grace. And let me tell you, grace transforms people so much. Because when you receive grace, you feel different. An amazing thing. So one thing about living in a flat, it's good, but it's also tiring because our flat, and we have people who we call our PRs, who would just like stay at our flat and refuse to go home. Even we're like, guys, it's time to go home. And they're like, what? Really? It's only like 1 a.m. So, but it's amazing opportunity to be able to have a home that you can open to people, to have people like dirty your house with chips all over the ground and mess up your kitchen after cleaning it up, after we cleaned it up the whole day. I mean, it's hard, but it's amazing journey, and that's what I learned. And I think that also you can't give out all the time without taking in from God, so that's why the quiet time comes in. It's like you can't grow unless you're being watered consistently with God. Spending time with God, quiet time with God is really your source of strength, and that's where you get all your energy from. Yeah, so I'm going to end really soon. But it's really a learning process. You learn every day, and you can never stop learning, because once you stop learning, you're dead. But I thought, it's not going to open. It's going to open?
Yeah, it's still an open.
So, oh, that's cool. It's just seed. Attempted seed. It's actually nuts, but what I was gonna say with this is that when I first started being in HCS and leading the team as president, I didn't think that I could do it, and like honestly, I didn't have any faith that I could do it. But what I realized is that God didn't need the entire, like, He doesn't need a whole chunk, a whole bucket full of faith. All He needs is a little mustard seed of faith, and He can do wonders with it. And if you trust Him with it, you're willing to plant it, then He will help you grow, and He will teach you things. He will show you grace. He will show you love like never before, like you never experienced before. And out of that love, you can give to others and listen and see things that you never imagined. Yeah. Oh, wait. Last slide, sorry. This was supposed to represent that, so loving other people beyond the flaws, blah, 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 growing with each other, community. Yeah. Okay.